Let me see where it gets connected. Here. I guys see anybody see me in the chat here? Let me know because it's taking forever on my size the last couple of months to when it's
Yeah,
live.
we're live.
Awesome, awesome. Welcome guys to another Monday here in Operation 11 Charlie. Hanging out with our brothers and sisters and family here in the chat and on the panel. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Real quick, I'm already lost like always. Dennis said that we couldn't go live at 8:15, so we had to wait until 8:19. That's what Dennis said. So I just want to put it up there. It's been a minute, guys. Thank you for again for hanging out with us. We really appreciate it. Did we have one last Monday? No, right?
No.
No.
Nope.
Yeah, I was down and out. I was down and out. Yeah. So but again, thank you guys. I see Joe coming in, bro. How you doing, Joe?
I'm good. Yourself?
Doing good, man. Good to have you here, man. How was your weekend?
Kind of didn't do much of anything weekend. It was kind of nice.
I like those. I like those.
Gotta have them every now and then.
Definitely. How about you, Josh? Josh, you guys went out crawling? Did something this weekend or what?
We did some speed runs. I had the Arma out. It took flight at about 129 mile an hour.
Is
Um
which one? What armor? Oh, the
the
limitless?
Limitless.
Oh,
Yeah.
snap.
It drove back, was fine.
Okay.
But yeah, we put 8S in it for the first time. So it decided it was going to take off and show me how high it could go in the air.
So now we're gonna see what we can do to add more weight to it or air going through the body.
I think it was the road, and I think the body was catching a little bit of air. I'm gonna put like an angle iron piece to clamp off the body.
It only takes a little bit of a bump, a tiny rock or something just to lift it up for a minute. That's all it takes, man. A second,
Yep.
and we'll go flying. 120 miles per hour, RC.
129. Yep.
29. Get it right. Gee, sweet.
Hey, I know somebody that helped with that ESC and stuff, so they better get their money's worth, right?
It got that O11C power on it.
Yep.
How about you, Robert?
Um, what did I do? Yesterday, I did some crawling, hung out with a couple of old school friends from the old school Tampa Bay RC club. We had a friend that passed away about 5 years ago.
Oh, wow.
So we did a just a get together run for him, running leaf springs, running that scale stuff because that's what he was all about. But yeah, we all had a great time catching up, talking about the future and things like that. Saturday was my wife's birthday. She turned, it's not appropriate for me to
Don't
say.
say it. Don't say it.
29.
She
29.
turned, and so we spent the whole day together and just having a good old time, the usuals.
Happy birthday, Amanda.
She's downstairs. Oh, she heard you. She said thank you.
That's awesome, man. Let me see here. We got two Erics. Eric with a K.
What's up?
How was your weekend, brother?
Oh, it was great. Celebrating my daughter's birthday. She turned 23. She's living with me now. She's going to welding school. Took her to a Cheesecake Factory. Got fat, dumb, and happy.
Oh, my cheesecake. It's been a minute. I love chicken.
Yeah. Oh, man. I think I'm still fat from Saturday. But other than that, everything's good. Still looking for a place to live.
Oh,
But other than that, everything's good. I can't complain.
amen to that. Amen to that. How about you, Dennis, brother?
Did absolutely nothing. We did for a little bit yesterday, went and celebrated my grandson's 10th birthday. Hung out with him for a little bit and then came home because it was just way too hot. But other than that, I pretty much just sat here and stared at the TV.
You didn't went to the bingo hall?
No. Nope, they had to have somebody else call numbers this weekend.
You slacking, Dennis. You slacking. That's good stuff, bro. That good stuff. Let me say, I got some people here in the chat. They came in. Chunky Cousin, welcome in, brother. Chunky, I saw your message. I will get back to you soon. Robert, we got a few of our veterans in the chat. Welcome in, Cindy. Welcome in. Jeremy Burrs, welcome in, guys. Thank you for stopping by and hanging out with us. Also here we have Eric with a C. Welcome, Eric. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. How about you?
Doing good, man. Always an honor having you and hanging out with you, brother. Eric is a special guest, so we're gonna be talking to Eric soon, right? About all his endeavors, all the stuff that he's done, and what he's doing right now. So, but how was your weekend, Eric?
It's good. I was training and I chilled with my wife yesterday, watched TV and kind of relax. And that's about it. Chill weekend.
That's definitely. Actually, that's what I did. I was here doing. Well, no, I went to visit my sister on Sunday, so that was a good thing. Curtis, welcome in, brother. Pablo, welcome in, man. Good to see you. Good to see you here. I was seeing our guys. We're getting ready to Proland by the Fire. I don't even want to know how many days we got till Proland by the Fire, but we'll be there, guys. We taking some of our veterans down there from the Cali area. We have a few that are gonna go out there from this on this side, and looking forward for that. So we're gonna be in California that week of the 18 and 19. So Proland by the Fire, Apple Valley area. Feel free to stop by, hang out with us. That is some amazing location there. Crawler heaven right there. And so we're looking forward to hang out with all of you guys. And also there's a bunch of other events coming up in October that we were talking behind the scenes. So there's a bunch of we're gonna be busy the next well, we're always busy, but September and October is very, very busy. And then in November we'll be down in Utah. Another event that they're doing for O11C down there, Battle the Beach 4. So looking forward for that. I think that should be it. Robert, what are those events that we have? I know the gauntlet. When is the gauntlet? Dennis or Josh?
September 20th.
November 22nd.
Oh, that's next month. Okay. Right. So that's the same week of Proline, actually. And then October we got which one we got in October, Robert, that we talked earlier?
That is Halloween Haul and Crawl at Cherokee Rock Village.
Yes. And the one also, what is it, Rocktober? That's the one
Yeah, also Rocktober, the first weekend of October.
of October.
And then the very last weekend of October is Scale Mountains Scaletober Fest.
Sweet. That's down here in Florida, guys. So we got the Cherokee Rock Village in Alabama, and then Rocktober is down at BTC location down in Kentucky. So it's a nice area down there. So Maurice, welcome in. JM, welcome in. Thank you for stopping by, guys. So here, guys, anything else that we forgot to mention before we go to our special guests, guys, feel free. Let me see here. I want to be able to share. So while I do this, Eric, brother, I know you being here, you were with us a couple of times before with us, but the people that don't know about you, just a little bit about yourself, brother.
Well, born and raised in Puerto Rico. I was born in Macao, Puerto Rico. I joined the Army after 9/11. Actually, my cousin Michael Trinidad passed away at 9/11, and that's kind of what motivated me to join the Army. I did a year in the National Guard in Puerto Rico before I went active duty. La 892 892 Engineer Battalion.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, I enlisted in active duty. I was 85th Engineers out of Fort Hood.
Cool.
Yep. And then no, I was in Iraq in 04, 05, actually with the Louisiana National Guard, 256 Combat Brigade, and then went back again and took a tour right after I was in the reserves. No, I lived in Connecticut for half of my life. I was previously married. And got out of the army in '08. And once I got out of the army, I decided to go to school to be a therapist. Because based upon everything I was going through myself, coming back from the war and everything, I wanted to give back in a certain another way.
Mm-hmm.
And also, growing up in Puerto Rico, and Javier can attest to this, we don't go to therapists growing up over there. We go to our
Yeah.
aunts, our abuelas, or the pastor, and stuff like that. So when I was 23 when I came back from Iraq the first time, and I didn't know what a therapist was. I mean, I knew what it was, but I never had one before.
Mm-hmm.
So, given my experience there, I really wanted to do a difference for my fellow veterans, and I decided to go to school to become a therapist. And from there, I worked at the VA for several years doing benefits. I did claims. I worked for the homeless team. I had one of my favorite jobs I ever had. I worked for the VA hospital in North Carolina, and yeah, you know, I really enjoy working with veterans. That's one of the biggest things. My favorite job I
Yeah.
ever had. Giving back to my brothers and sisters. Not only that, being a veteran myself, it gives me a better insight helping my fellow brothers and sisters. And it was a really rewarding job, a career. I enjoyed doing it. I still help veterans here and there,
Yeah.
wherever I can. But in the presence of all that, I came back like all of us. We came back with injuries and situations and issues that, mind you, I was 23 when I was in Iraq, so I was still a kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
So a lot of the things that I didn't know how to handle, I had to learn how to handle them, you know? So, in the midst of being in the VA and all that stuff like that, I was dealing with my PTSD. I was dealing with my TBI. My vision got affected actually, um, due to an injury I had in Iraq. I had two separate head injuries, that affected my retina. And throughout the years, it got worse. I was deemed legally blind in 2017. However, I was still able to drive, and I was just still working. When I moved to Florida, I got married, second time, sorry. I got married second time in 2019, and we decided to move to Florida at that time. And I was living in South Daytona at the moment, and I was at the time I was working with a company, with an organization doing in-home therapy for teenagers and kids, and I was going back home after work, and I was doing 30 miles per hour, and this guy was fleeing for a bad drug deal, and he was doing over 120 miles
Wow.
in a regular boulevard. So he shouldn't be going that fast. Unfortunately, he rear-ended me, um, forcing me. I was going southbound, and I ended up going northbound. And how hard he hit me. Um, in the midst of all that, gratefully, I didn't have any new injuries. However, everything that I had already from my TBI and everything, it got exacerbated. So that's why I ended up with only 5% of my vision now. So I have no peripherals. So if you put your hand right in front of your nose, that's why I kind of see it's like a little like that. Um, Fast forward, after the accident, I was forced to retire. I was forced to retire because I was having seizures due to the head injury for a year. I was dealing with the fact that my vision, and that was a really hard a hard year for me and my wife, because I had to set the fact that I no longer can drive. I had to set the fact that I'm going to depend on other people for everything now. So that was the biggest pill to swallow. It wasn't the fact that I couldn't see well. It's the fact that now I depend on everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And the irony is that one of the big first events that I went out to do, it was for you guys. At my friend, one of my best friend Mick Lum and Gabe, told me about you guys. And of course, Mick picked me up, and we went to an event up in Jacksonville. Um, and it was like it was. I didn't know anything about RCs, and I was a bit worried about it because I didn't know how I was gonna handle it. Because in fact it's all new to me.
Mhm.
And the parts are really small, so it doesn't really help that I can't see well. Um, but I loved it. I loved it. I was it was something really so simple, but at the same time it was so peaceful at the same time. And then from there I met Javier and everything. It was just a match made in heaven. And but throughout that process, then you stop me in the middle. You want any questions and stuff like that. Um, I'm trying to put everything shorter.
Yeah, go ahead.
But right after that, I wanted to get out of the house more because I didn't want to stay in the house. I spent a whole year that I couldn't do anything because due to I wasn't medically cleared yet to do any exercises or anything like that because I was having seizures and everything. So I was not in a good headspace, not whatsoever. Um, I struggled with a lot of suicidal ideation, even suicidal attempts at times. Um, and gratefully, with doing living Charlie, and I started doing playing golf and trying to find things to get out of the house. It was still a struggle for me, and I kept on finding things what to do, finding whatever I something that I would love and enjoy. RC is something that I enjoy a lot right now in the house that I live in. Because it's smaller. It's and again parts are so small, so I have my stored for a while until I get my new house next year. I mentioned it offline that I got a house to Homes for Our Troops, and Homes for Our Troops is an organization that helps veterans who are critically injured, and they make a house for you from the ground up, and it's completely adaptive. The whole house is adapted to you.
The
So
conditions. Yeah.
yeah, everything is ADA compliant, and it's also mortgage free. So once I get the house, I'll have my own room for my toys and everything else that I need. Um, and so I'm looking forward to that because I enjoy just having a few hours and just sitting down in my backyard and playing with my RC and having my dog being curious about it and everything. And even when I go out with the guys, when I went to Titusville, you know, just it's the camaraderie of the whole thing. Yeah, it helps out a lot. Um,
Just to be around each other and whatnot. Something to
Yep.
look out for, right?
Yeah. And one of the things that I enjoy about this organization is that, it didn't matter that I was legally blind. Like I was treated as anybody else, you know. And it was I enjoyed because that's what I want. I want people to give me any special treatment because the fact that I can't drive or I can't see well, and I didn't feel that the stigma with you guys. I was immediately welcome, for vets and non-vets. The
Yeah.
part of the organization was really awesome to be part of the family, for lack of better words. Um, However, through that process of meeting you guys, I was still struggling a lot because I worked from until I was 39. I was in the middle of a hype of my career at
Mhm.
that moment. And all that just stopped abruptly, abruptly changed because everything now I can't do the things I used to do. And if people out there know, having a head injury is a lot of things come with it,
Yeah.
like anger issues, memory issues, um, problem solving stuff issues, all these things that before I didn't have those kind of issues, and now I do. And like I mentioned before, I was talking about open record. The biggest thing that I had was it's not the fact of my injuries, it's the fact that I had to depend on everybody else to do anything. So if I wanted to go buy a gallon of milk, I think one day it happened to me. My wife had to go to work, and I wanted to have some cereal, something simple, and I had no milk, and that's where it really hit me. I was like, "Damn, I can't get it in my car and go get milk." I had to spend almost $12 on DoorDash to get just a half gallon of milk. So, but I had to because, you know, I had nothing else to eat, and because of my visually impaired, I not be in the kitchen too much because I can get hurt.
Mhm.
So I try to keep it simple as possible. And so that kind of hit me, and like, oh, you know what? This is gonna be a thing now. This is gonna be my new normal. So I call it my new normal. And so I said, you know what? So at that point on, I just accepted the fact that this is who I'm gonna be, which is not a bad thing because it could have been worse. It could have been just I wouldn't be here,
Yeah.
you know. And so I had to make the best out of it, and it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. It wasn't, you know, just overnight transformation. It was a lot of like frustrations and tears and arguments and you know, a lot of, you know, VA trips here and there.
Yeah.
You know, it's because it's excuse me, it was a hard process, to a hard transition
Yeah.
to go into. And you know, years, it's been 4 years since my accident. The gentleman the guy who hit me, he got 10 years for my accident.
Wow.
He had wow, he had a lot of drugs in his car. He had no license. He had a registered weapon, and that happened during COVID too. So that was even a nightmare because I was in the ICU. My wife was not allowed to go see me,
No.
and I'm beat up, man. I'm like beat up, and I was so mad because I was like, man, I went to war and I survived all that to come home and almost get killed by some guy,
Yeah.
a bad drug deal. And the guy was like 4 rooms. I was in the ER. It's like 2 or 3 rooms away from me. And the cop told me that. I wish he didn't tell me that because, you know, because I was in bad shape. I was in bad shape. And but all that turmoil and all that darkness that I had to go through, looking back, I'm happy that I did because it made me appreciate life more.
Who you are right now as
Yes,
well.
sir. Yes, sir. I wouldn't be people always, oh, you're so strong and you got all these qualities, and you always hear that because, you know, it's how we as soldiers, as how we have to be,
Cool.
you know. And but I didn't see it that way. I didn't see it that way. I'm just surviving. That's the way I said, I'm just surviving. And but I didn't tell anybody the way I really felt, you know, because it was myself. However, once I realized that, you know, like we mentioned offline, is that my spouse, my wife is amazing. You know, unfortunately, when my first marriage, I any other private got married right before boot camp, and because he wanted the extra couple $100, you know, and honestly, you know, it didn't work out because she wasn't ready to deal with the things that I had to go through. I wasn't ready to face the things that I had to face.
Yeah.
So the marriage suffered a lot, and had no support. So going from a marriage that had no support to going to a marriage that I had full support, I was not used to that. So I didn't know how to handle it. I didn't know how to appreciate it. Um, and so many times, you know, I would take things for granted because, you know, I was so stuck in my own dark thoughts that I didn't see that I had somebody in front of me who will do anything for me to keep on living. And so I decided I woke up one day and I said, you know, I need to do something in my life because I'm here still alive for a reason. I've been shot, I've been blown up, I've been, you know, and all these things in my life, and I'm still here. Then it must be for a reason. It must be for a reason. And I remember when I was in the backyard with my wife, and my wife's from Boston. She's Italian, so a little bit feisty sometimes. and, and she's only 5 feet tall, although 4'11", but don't say that I said that. She's watching anyway, so she might hear it anyway. But we were in the backyard one day, and I was having, you know, just one of I call it my better moments. And I was in a bad mood for no reason, no bad reason. I was just bad mood. And I said, Eric, it's been 20 years. Get over it. And at the moment when she told me that, I was like, the fuck are you telling me? You made me get over it. but then I realized what she was actually telling me is, Eric, you know, yes, everything that happened with it was horrendous, and you lost friends, and you came a different man, but you're living today. and then you have to focus on living. And that's a chapter of your life that you survive for a reason. And I thank God for intelligent and patient wives out there, because sometimes we're so focused on our own stuff that we don't see things around us. And I don't see that, no pun intended. But
We use block. We use block. We don't want to listen. We don't want to hear. I don't care. You didn't go through. You don't understand what I don't want to hear. But all that stuff that happened through you, Eric, and it probably prepares you for that moment. For that moment, specifically when she said that, because a couple of years ago, probably you wouldn't take that at all. You would have snapped. You would be totally different. That's all that stuff that has prepared you for who you are at that moment, right?
oh yeah, she had told me that like 2 years, 3 years beforehand, I would have been like, later, I'm done.
Yeah.
I mean, how dare you say that? You know, because I was holding on to my tour so much because it was such a big event in my life. You know, mind you, I was a kid. I was literally a kid. I was 23 years old. I didn't know anything about paying bills or stuff like that. And I'm already having all these common situations that it changed my life. So after my wife gave me that kind of like, you know, tough treatment on that tough love, it made me put it in perspective. I was like, you're right. I'm wasting time that I can be laughing, that I can be smiling, that I can be actually enjoying my animals, or enjoying a crawler in the backyard of my house, and I didn't see it that way until that point. And I remember I said I want to do something that I need to find something that will actually help me with my anger.
Yes.
I actually that was my biggest problem, was my anger. If out of everything else that I had my issues, it wasn't my memory problems. It wasn't my like my flashbacks or nightmares or hypervigilance. It was my anger. That's the most got me in trouble all the time. And I remember one night I Googled jiu-jitsu near me, and it was a academy in Port Orange. I'm in New Smyrna, and it's a Ralph Gracie Academy. And so I said, let me check it out. And mind you, I was really scared because I didn't know how they're gonna able to train me, because I'm ignorant to it. So I don't know how they're gonna help somebody with visual impairments. I didn't know how it worked, and so I was really anxious going in there the first day. And gratefully, when I realized that I don't need my vision to do that, it's all by feel, I fell in love with it. I fell in love with it. And fast forward to the point that my wife, like last month, we were just having a glass of wine, watching TV, and we're talking about class, and she was saying, Eric, I'm really happy that you're doing what you're doing, because you're a whole different man than you used to be. And coming from her, that's my biggest meter when it comes to how good I'm doing, because she's the one who sees me 24/7. She's the one who sees me when I'm in my worst moments and my best moments, because when we go outside our door, our house, we don't show our real selves. We don't, because we can't. We really can't. We want to have we have to keep it together for our fellow veterans or people around us, or just our daily routine and life. So for her to tell me that, I knew I was doing the right thing. And not only that, you know how you go to the VA and do your every yearly or every 2 year TBI screening, see how you're doing. So last year, no, sorry, beginning of the year, went to see my neurologist, and they were like, wow, your problem solving skills went up 2 points, which is a lot. Everything else is the same. But at least the problem solving skills went up 2 points. And they asked me, so what are you doing differently? It's like, I'm just doing jiu-jitsu almost every day. And I said, well, given what you're doing, because in jiu-jitsu you have to like think quick on your feet. You have to, everything's a puzzle. So, and I can tell even like how calm I am now compared to the way before. Like now things don't bother me as much. You know, I mean, it bothers me, but not, my reaction is different.
It's that snap time that we snap and we just black out or whatnot. It's not there, at least, you know.
Yeah. And that's, like I said, that's the thing that got me in trouble the most. That's the thing that got me kicked out of Walmart,
Yeah.
out of restaurants, family dinners, birthdays, even schools, it's, and looking back, it goes back to the, to support system that you have, or a support system that you want, that you let in, because sometimes people want to help us and we don't let anybody in
Yeah.
because we
Yeah. Yeah.
don't think that they can understand us. Um, so, but all that stuff that I went through, um, you know what, I said, I can't work anymore. I want to do something to keep on helping people, but I don't want to go back to the things I was doing. So my wife said, "How about a podcast? I think that will really, you kind of like it. You talk a lot, and two, you talk to people anyway. So you know what? And so one night I was just thinking about it, and then the subject of Beyond Capable was born. Um, I thought about myself, how everything that I've been through, my friends like Gabe and other people that I know that I've gone through so many great things in their lives, and look at them today. So me thinking all those things, you know what? It's a good thing that I want to do. At the same time, I'm helping people, because the whole premise of the podcast is about not the story, because anybody can tell you a story. I can sit here and tell you all my life story. What you don't know is true or not.
Mm-hmm.
But it's your mindset during the process of that moment.
Yeah.
Like what you're actually thinking. When things are, when your fridge is empty and you don't know how to pay the bills the next day. You know, like we had people on our show that had issues with weight, and they were insecure with their partner because, they didn't feel comfortable being in front of them. Those are things that you don't share with people, because they took our personal stuff. And so we started with a podcast because I want to show people out there is that we're not the only ones with problems. It's always somebody out there who has either similar problems or even worse. And so if I can, through my podcast, if I can help people to be motivated and to see, you know what, if that person went through it, that I can do it too. Or, you know what, that story resonates with me, then that I have a chance in life. Um, and it's not only about veterans, it's all about just people in general.
The
You know,
positive give you motivation, a positive life. It doesn't matter you're civilian or veteran or whatnot. While you keep talking, Eric, I'm gonna show the pictures that you sent us for the show. Go ahead.
thank you. So, because when it comes to that too, there are people in their life that need that help. Like our spouses, our family members, our friends that also get they get drained work dealing with us, because we're not easy. we're
Yeah,
not
yeah,
we're not easy people, and we can be sometimes stubborn. And also we think that our problems are only our problems, that nobody out there has the same problem that we have. So we don't, like you said, we don't listen.
Mhm.
And when I started listening, and that's kind of like my turning point in my life. When I started listening to the people who actually love me, then I start doing better in life. And Beyond Capable was born in May of this year. The first episode we did, and so far we're doing really good. We got almost 2,000 followers and on Instagram, almost 300 followers in YouTube, and almost 500 in Facebook. And our main mission is to show the people how human beings are so exceptional.
yeah,
How we're so relentless. And that's something that I saw in my life, because I said before, people will tell me, Eric, you're so strong, and you really have a mental capacity. And yeah, I hear all the time, but when things really hit the fan, people don't know how I really think. Uh,
yes, yeah,
don't think there were moments that I didn't want to wake up. There were days that I got fed up, and having a TBI, you're really compulsive. So I would just hurt myself, and I ended up in the hospital. A couple of years ago, I was going to an event and I couldn't make it because I was in the hospital. Um, and it's the thing is that sometimes we get so carried away with the things in front of us, and I say this it's symbolically because I don't have no peripherals, that
yeah,
I don't I didn't see the bigger picture of things before. I didn't see how my behavior was affecting my wife or my mom, because I was thinking back that, oh, I need the pain to go away, or I just want the drama and the stress to go away. Because sometimes, I love the VA and everything, but the veteran just need more, because
Yeah.
the VA is great, and without them, we wouldn't have the stuff that we have today.
Yeah.
So I'm really grateful for the fact that we live in a nation that we have the VA, because all the veterans and all the veterans in this world has stuff that we have
Yeah. Yeah.
that we don't. Like
Yeah.
monetary benefits, hospital benefits. The countries who you're obligated to serve, and that's it. After you're done, thank you, goodbye, and
Yeah.
that's it. So I'm really grateful the fact that I live where I live, because I wouldn't have what I have, due to my service. But saying that, we have nonprofits like you guys, like Wounded Warrior Project, and so many out there that go the extra mile for us, so we
Yes.
we have the extra help that we need.
Yes.
Um, so, and my biggest thing is that I was horrible asking for help. I will help anybody out. I'll take my shirt off my back for anybody. For me, but me asking for help, nope. I would just not. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. And that was one of my biggest mistakes. And from those mistakes, or I want to call it teachable moments, I was able to understand that, Eric, it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to say that you can't make it, or it's okay that you need help with all these things. Like, I have a nurse who helps me out three times a week, and at the beginning I was like, I'm not even 40 yet. I already have a nurse, and that was hard for me to accept. But the reality is that she's there for a reason, to make my life much easier. This way, I'm less stressed. Like, my wife's here, and also, like, people out there, like, I don't want to burden people, and that was my biggest thing, and I still do it sometimes. It's like, I don't want to bother you, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, but I'm not really bothering anybody, because the worst thing they can say is no. Hey, Eric, I can't do it. That's it, and then you move to the next person. But that fear of me being rejected or asking for help, or feeling vulnerable asking for help, I didn't want to do that. In the beginning, but I realized the more help I ask, the less stress I have, and I don't like stress.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with now asking for help, and but the podcast has been a godsend for me. I feel I'm giving back to the community, not only to the veteran community, but I want to give out back to the world.
Yeah.
Because there's always somebody out there, doesn't matter the country we're in, that having situations that we don't know about, that can be motivated through this video or anything episode that we put out there. But that's kind of my story in a nutshell. I can go in more details if you want to go into more questions. But that's how I made it to where I was from the Army to today, in my studio today. And honestly, I'm happy. I mean, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the experience that I had in the past, even though they were really hard and difficult and dark at times. But it made me the man I am today. Made me the loving husband I am today. The caring brother that I am today. Because before, unfortunately, it's like, it happens a lot of us to us. We were in that stage of like anger all the time and snapping at people. Your family doesn't want to deal with you.
No.
They don't want to deal with you, or they're afraid of saying anything to you because you might snap at them. And that was me for a while. They're like, oh, don't bother Eric because he might snap, or they'll talk to me and say, but Eric, I'm gonna say this, but please don't get mad. And I'm not trying to, but it's like, but I understand now. I do understand why they said that, because that's who I was.
Yeah.
And so I really can't blame him for that. I need to be more mature about understanding also how they felt when I was going through those situations to myself.
At the time, and I appreciate that, Eric. Thank you for sharing all that stuff, because some of our guys here, right, that going through that, right, including myself, how we can relate to that, right, in a way, or and having that family member or that person near you to help you out, keep you above water on the like I always say, in the other side of the ground, man,
Yeah.
because it's hard. It's hard. It's hard. Sadly, that's why we lose so many of our guys because they don't have a support system, right? For whatever reason, and they are, that they don't have either the family don't get involved, they don't want to get involved, and not knowing, right? Being ignorant about a situation, about a condition, it sometimes gets it gets us through to that point, to that situation, right? About every that bad situation. So that's by making awareness of getting ready, learning about that condition. I've been learning about all that stuff can prevent so many stuff for our guys, man. Because that's how my wife did at that moment, right? And I know a lot of the wives, that's what they do, family members or whatnot, man. So it's very important. That's why we have Eric here. He's a motivation to all of us. If you don't know Eric, that's that's why uh appreciate you. Gabe, all our guys are motivated because it's hard how when we go to those dark days, man. That me myself, that's why sometimes we don't see the show because I stay away. I don't want people to see me on those moments. I get tired. And you said it there, man. When you send the family, it's like resonate with me because that's why I'm away from the family. Because at the time when we got back, I didn't want to be I didn't want to be near them because I didn't want to snap or all that stuff or whatnot. Then my poor wife was the one that was handling all that anger, all that stuff, bro. That's what, man, they needed gold medal, whatever. They need more than a gold medal for holding and going through all that stuff, man. It just it's hard. It's hard. But man, that's why we want Eric here because it's a motivation to all of us guys. And then O11C is not RC. Like how many times we have said it, RC is a tool. It's what happened behind the scenes. It's all this stuff being amongst other veterans and civilians as well. We have in O11C, we have first responders. We got police officers, we got nurses, or we got first responders that go through some similar stuff in some other ways, but they can, we can understand each other in a way, right? And that's what the stuff that happens behind the scenes, all this stuff. That's what O11C is all about, man. And like Eric says, sometimes going back to the VA, we appreciate, grateful for the VA, but sometimes some of us we don't want to go there because we don't want to feel like we're getting treated, that we're under the scope all the time. So having all these other nonprofits that do a lot of stuff for our veterans, we feel more comfortable. I don't know, that's how you feel, Eric, and you feel it for me works better in a way. I still do the VA stuff, but that it kind of like helps me get out more or having that purpose for getting me to the next day or next month, looking forward, or next month I'm gonna meet up with the guys. Next month we gotta do, that's what keeps me going, man, and not pulling the trigger, all that stuff. But that's I love it. I love it, Eric. I want to go back, man. Any question that you guys want to get involved? I know sometimes this is some tough subjects for some of you guys, but this is stuff we want to bring in so you guys can understand what we go through, right? And that's why we want to share all this stuff. Again, from all of us to you guys here. Eric, man, going back to, bro, I'm telling you, that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you've been doing that what, a year or less than a year, bro?
No. It'll be 2 years.
2 years now, right?
Yeah.
Already. Oh my God. I don't even looking at tracking time.
Yeah, I remember I talking to you when I started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think my blue belt in a year.
so you already what you blue belt right now or?
Yeah, I'm a blue belt. Soon I'll get my first strike soon.
Wow. So in 2 years from you started from where you are right now and going to all these competitions and all that stuff, that's just amazing, Eric. Tells you what kind of grit you have, bro.
Yeah, I enjoy competing, and when I compete, I'm visually impaired, so by the regulations of IBJJF, I'm allowed to have my hand on the person's gi to start, but I don't do that.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. even though I'm a lot, I compete with people who are not like me. I compete with people who are just body able completely,
Yeah.
have disabilities, and for me, I rather have it that way because I don't want I'm a competitor, so I don't want any advantages, nothing like that,
Mhm.
and but I enjoy it. I enjoy it. I um I competed in Miami. Sorry,
Orlando, right?
Orlando
Oh,
just a couple months ago. And I got bronze. Before that I did Nashville. I got silver, and then before that I did Miami silver. I'm going to Vegas actually on Wednesday to compete in Worlds for the first time.
awesome,
Um,
man.
yeah,
That's what's up.
I'm excited. I've been training really hard. Um, I'm the only visually impaired athlete in my academy. Um, and the cool thing about it is that in my house and in the academy are the only two places that I don't use my blind stick because it's where I know where everything is already. I spent if you don't find my house, I'm in the academy,
Yeah.
and I'm really healthy. When I started doing jiu-jitsu, I was 205, and this morning I'm 162.
I remember because I saw the picture that you were posting. I saw that, like, my goodness, because you lost weight
Yeah,
quickly, bro.
yeah. So I do. I'm not. I mean, I'll do some weights here and there, not the way I used to. Because before that, I used to power lift.
Yeah.
I did it. I did it for 8 years. Made it to the Arnolds. I loved deadlifting. So I competed as well. Actually, my wife and I met at the gym. We
Wow.
met at the gym. I was finishing my grad school at the time, and she was also going to grad school in Connecticut. And I was in the midst of separation and everything. And she was a competitor. She still is. She's a semi-pro CrossFitter right now.
Mhm.
She and she was the coach, one of the competitors, and I was just the brand new kid out of shape that joined joined the gym. And, but she's a big supporter of my jiu-jitsu journey. I'm gonna do this until the day I die.
Amen.
I I really not only the academy but the people at my academy. My professor Edges Calixto, he's from Brazil. He's been here since 2016. He's an amazing man. He's only 46, 47, so very close in age too.
Yeah.
And he's a great mentor, great man, and I got really good people there who support me. But the good thing about it is that it's also separate from being a veteran.
So
And,
that was
and
my question, Eric. And is there a lot of veterans in that? Is
yes,
there a program? Because a lot of our guys don't know about that. And you don't need to be agile or whatnot, or the age
no,
doesn't matter, right? To
no,
start
no,
doing that stuff, right?
no. I have a guy in my academy who's 80 years old, no, 70 years old, and he rolls. He's a badass, you know. But the
Dennis
thing
still
out
has a
there,
chance.
And you see, Dennis, you see, I'm asking this question for you, Dennis, just to let you know, brother.
I'll
I
even
was
tell you
waiting
more.
for that.
The nonprofit We Defy, they help veterans who are just starting doing jiu-jitsu. You have to be a white belt or just starting from scratch, and they'll give you a grant for a year to pay the whole academy, right?
Who's this, Eric? Who's this?
We Defy Foundation. It's We Defy is WEDEFI. We Defy Foundation.
When you can't share it, text it to me so I can share it on the chat. Some of our guys.
Yeah, and so and also Catch a Lift Foundation.
Yes.
I actually used them this year because my grant We Defy just ended.
Yeah.
So Catch a Lift took over the following year.
Nice. Nice.
And but see, what Catch a Lift is an easier route because it can be anything. It can be
Yes.
it
Yes.
can be equipment. It can be but now they're extending it also jiu-jitsu too. And the increase I think is $1,200 a year.
Wow.
And you get that every year as long as you keep up with the requirements that they give you. But for the veterans out there,
We
if you
Defy Foundation. That's your wife there. Thank you. All right.
oh there you
Amy.
go. That's
Yep.
my wife.
Yep.
And so
That's the
and
boss.
Catch
So
a Lift,
behave, Eric.
yes, I'm saying good things so far. and so Catch a Lift also helps out because you can use for
Yeah.
equipment and actually my gi that I use for the competing, I bought it through we Catch a Lift.
Cash your lift.
So
Yeah.
and
Question on that, Eric. Like myself, I use cash your lift and the fast. I have that because of my injuries. I had the a stationary bike, but the one that is, it's not like regular bike. Got that special bag,
Yeah,
seat.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I
do
seen
you,
it.
are you
It's
still able, that was maybe 5, 6 years ago, you still able to use it again, like towards the gym or to,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah. I last year I used the grant because they have two grants. They have a grant for equipment.
equipment, yes,
They have a grant for gym for the gym membership.
yes.
So last year I bought some equipment. I bought some like a med ball, a bell squat machine, stuff like that. Because they give you, I think it's $1,000 per year for equipment.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as it's not for personal training, as long as it's not for like stuff like that, they'll buy you equipment. But if then you transition to the other grant, which is the gym membership, it's $1,200 a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And
good.
you have to be 50% service connected and above to qualify for that one.
At least 50%
At least
service
50%.
connected and above. That's
Yeah.
good to know.
We defy you had to be 80% and above.
80% on above. So I see there real quick. I see someone guys that join us. Lanius by Tony, welcome in. EA Supreme, we got some of our veterans from California, Backwoods, Lunatic. Thank you for sharing that experience there, Backwoods, man. I said I definitely would be taking a dirt nap if my wife hadn't introduced me to the RC crawling, bro. Hey, that's awesome, man. Appreciate for that. Thank you for your service, brother. Moonavar Miami, welcome in. If we miss it, Kurtz, welcome in. If we miss anybody, I love that stuff, man. So that is good. So with the 5 Foundation, thank you, Dennis, for sharing that, and Catch the Lift, as well. Also, there's what is it that other ones, Simplify funds as well?
Yes, Simplify Fund, you have to be 70% for on one condition or 100% service connected. And they have, but it's called America's Fund Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
They do a lot of stuff. They do for businesses. Actually, my podcast, I'm part of their entrepreneur grant, and so they're helping me with how to run a business. They're helping me how to like get networking with other companies to help my podcast grow. If I need equipment, they give you an allotment for buy equipment and everything. And for me, it's one of the most more organized and well nonprofits out there for guns for vets.
That is Simplify funds.
Yes.
Okay.
So they have a program. It's called Teen Simplify, and it's under the same foundation. But if you want to do sports, like for example, I'm going to Vegas, and they I paid up front, and the Teen Simplify reimbursed me
Wow.
for my expenses, which is including my flight, fees, and the hotel fees. And as you know, Vegas can be expensive, and you got up to I think it's $1,600 or $1,800 a year for non-American fund the non-Teen Simplify events. They'll reimburse you and stuff like that. So also they have what's called Challenge Athlete Foundation. Challenge Athlete Foundation is for civilians, but they have a Operation Rebound. It's for veterans. And they help you also with equipment. Like I also help you with reimbursements of sport events. That requires a little bit more. You have to be more quickly injured. But it's also for our guys out there to know about it. And Team Catapult. Team Catapult is also for critically injured vets or non-vets, and they give you a smaller grant, but every single dollar helps.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's so much stuff that is out there, especially for our veterans out there, man. That at the time when we got out, we didn't know about this, Eric, right? It's like I always said, there's a huge gap between the military life and the civilian life, especially when we get out, we're so lost and whatnot. And then we're not focusing no more on whatnot. Well, the family don't know about it, but it's so much out there that we don't know that is out there. And that's why having people like Eric here that we can share some of the stuff. You don't need to be a veteran, but you would take the information and share it with a veteran or a family member that may need it down the road, man. Because there's a lot of stuff out there for our guys that need the help, man. I
You
need
know,
that.
and sports and any hobby that you can have, it helps you so much.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, and I'm a therapist by trade, and if I'm a big fan of people having their hobbies and doing things. It's so constructive. It helps you be distracted all the pardon my French, all the bullshit of life sometimes.
yeah, yeah,
No, that's why you I love Charlie. I love it so much. Not only because of the RCs, but it's the people in the nonprofit who take this seriously.
yeah,
You know, Javier, I get texts from you all the time. Hey, Bobby, how you doing? And
yeah,
whatever. And that for me means a lot.
yeah.
You know, because it's a lot of people out there don't get that.
No, no, no.
Don't get that. And that's why we have a lot of guys and girls who women and men and women who out there who don't make it.
Yeah,
Because of the fact
yeah,
that they don't have that support system.
yeah, yeah. And that's why, man, that's why it's so important and so imperative to check out on each other and just get accustomed to it, man. And because again, you don't know what that person's going through behind that phone or back there in those four walls, man. So it's very important check on each other. So definitely, brother. My goodness. That's why I want to say I appreciate you guys because that is all of you guys that the guys have been checking with me the last couple 2 or 3 weeks. And I appreciate that. It's grateful because you guys, that simple text, I know some guys, if I don't reply and say, hey, my next he was gonna go out there, drive out there. I get away from everybody because I don't want, you know what I'm saying? I don't like people to see me like that or whatnot. I don't want to snap. I don't want to, I just don't want to. And I hate, sometimes it's bad, but I hate being locked up in a hospital, man. I don't know how you feel about that, Eric. Sometimes it's needed, but I just hate it. I don't know. I just hate
Oh,
it.
I've been there, and for me, I'll share this with you. When I started working at the VA, I worked at the VA, and for me, it was extremely hard sometimes because I had to. I
Yeah,
had to do PR, overnight, and
yeah,
there were times, like I mentioned before, I was a therapist, so for me, it was hard because I will have veterans who were my patients with me at the ER, so I had to be taken to other hospitals sometimes.
yeah,
The fact I was an employee, and that was hard, man, because I'm taking I'm for me, I understood why it was happening because of my job and my career, but then I was taken to a hospital with no veterans. So I was felt like always out of place because I didn't know how to express myself and nobody would understand. So it was really extremely hard and being impatient sometimes, I will before I had a past where I had a lot of suicide attempts where I had to be inpatient in civilian hospital because of the fact I worked for the VA. Um, it was really it sucked.
yes. So it's not funny though that you
No.
mentioned, but it happened to me 4 years ago. They took me to a hospital. There were no veterans, and you know what they did? They put me separate from everybody, right? Out there. And so I was away from it. I was like in the
Yeah,
they had me locked up somewhere else, not around the civilians, just by myself or whatnot. I don't know what they were doing to protect me at the time or whatnot, but it was, I don't know, it felt that's why I hate it again because you're not around other veterans. It just, I don't know. That's
even though because the way the body is stressed out, the body doesn't know what's causing it. It's just stressed out.
yeah,
But for us, not having that camaraderie of people can kind of relate, it is hard. It sometimes it can be a good thing and a bad thing.
yeah,
Because unfortunately, and being a better better a lot sorry, being I had a TBI moment right there. Being around a lot of veterans sometimes, we don't we don't we don't share the good stories all the time.
yeah,
And I think something that we had talked about before about it's like it's one of the things that was having a hard time because every time I went to an event or I hear about war stories and I did this, I did that, but it goes back to some of these vets don't have an outlet
yeah.
to express themselves. That's why it's so important to have these hobbies or have or whatever sports that you want to do to have that outlet. That way, when you're around other people, you can enjoy the moment. Enjoy the fact that you're crawling in the woods with other veterans instead of just talking about time you got blown up, through Irish or something like that. So that's why it's so important to have these things out there for us, because like you said, Javier, back in 04, 03, or even
Oh,
none of that stuff was happening.
no, no. I never had a hobby in my life. You said it before we started. We had to suck it up, you know. I did sports. I did boxing for a long time, and but I never had a hobby like RC. That's my first hobby. I was what when I got out, almost 40. Oh no, around there, almost 40. Almost 40. And I said I never pick up a tool to work on RC or something in the hobby like stuff. I never saw that. I love my hobby guy. I said, man, I'm not a nerd. It's just nerdy for me at the
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
I said, man, I gotta suck it up. But I love it. I enjoy it. And then I had like my social work and my psychiatrist and my like, bro, you need to get a hobby. Oh, you need. I don't want to hear it. I don't. I don't get. Leave me alone in my bunker. Like I call my. Leave me alone. I'll be in my bunker, whatever, until I run into the hobby, and then it was. I was if back then how who I am right now, and all the stuff that we have, and why we doing this.
yeah,
Why we enjoy helping our brothers and sisters. That's why we have O11C, nothing else, right?
yeah.
What we get out of it is helping other veterans out. I was talking to another fellow veteran, actually, one of our members yesterday, last year, one of our guys yesterday, last night, and it's just some of our guys, right? Grateful that we have some of our guys that don't have their family members. They don't get out of the house until we do our outings. That's the only time they're out. Either they go to the VA hospital or they go to an O11C outing. So it's that's why it's so important. Any organization, not just us, that keep doing what they're doing, because some of our guys, how much they depend on us, right? And what we do, and then we are the people that keep them, you know, looking forward for the next month or the next outing, keep them afloat and whatnot, help them out in those dark moments. It's not just those outings, it's 24/7 that we check on each other out, or we have to do special outings and whatnot. But wow, I just got out there. Anyway, but I love it. I love it, Eric, man. What is man? So Beyond Capable. You started Beyond Capable how long? What was it? A few months ago or beginning of the
Yeah.
year?
Actually, our first episode aired in May,
May.
and it was Gabe, actually, one of our alumni, your alumni.
Yes.
And the irony was that the same week that I put the episode out, I went for an outing with you guys in Titusville.
Yes.
And we talked about Eric Charlie on our first episode. How because how Gabe and I met. I met Gabe through 11 Charlie, and I was cracking up. You know how we are. We make fun
Yeah.
of each other, whatever. And so we had the blind guy and the guy with one arm and one corner playing with cars. So that it was interesting. It was interesting. It was really interesting for sure. But I love Gabe. I love Gabe to death. Gabe has a tremendous heart.
Yes.
I love Gabe as well. And
He lights up a room. You could be down. You could go in a room. Everybody like sad and whatnot. Right. Gay walks in and he's like, everybody. The mood changes. Right. It's incredible. Love Eric.
So
Yeah.
meeting Gabe, because Mick he was the one who told me about you guys, because Mick is also into RCs.
Yeah.
Right now he's doing his leather stuff. It's taking really really well. But it's how I met Gabe, and through you guys. And Gabe now he's my brother. Like Gabe
Yeah.
and I, Gabe's really busy doing his pickleball stuff, and he's always calling him Hollywood sometimes because he's all over the place.
Hollywood Gabe. That's what we call him.
Yeah.
Hollywood Gabe.
And but it's through an outing that I had that I was able to connect with all the veterans that today are part of my support system. That's why these things are so important, because you get to get these people that are become part of your cycle of life, and so, but Beyond Capable, it's something that it was inspired by my own struggles, and not only my struggles, but my Gabe struggles, the people that I saw Gabe, how he was doing, how great.
Yeah.
And you said before, Gabe has all the reason to be complaining.
Yeah.
and he doesn't. And he doesn't. And it's something that I had to learn from him, because when I met Gabe, I just was learning how to handle being visually impaired.
Yeah.
I wasn't like this all my life, and his attitude is contagious. So and that's why I'm part of. I hope he's watching it or whatever, or when he can say this, I thank him, because I take his attitude and I apply it to my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, people ask me, I had a lady the other day ask me, why is it always so happy? I said, well, I have two choices: either be miserable or not.
Yeah.
That's simple as that. It's no gray area in behind it. I know we have stress going on, and I'm not saying I'm like smiling every single time, but I try to my hardest to. I have my days that I don't want to smile, but I remind myself the fact that, look, Eric, you open your eyes, you're
Yeah.
breathing today. That's that by itself is a blessing.
I gotta work on it. And sometimes it's like, especially my Kayla, my wife, she looks the good in people, she looks the positive in people. She always likes for me to look at it the same way. But man, it's hard, Eric, man, for me.
Hard.
It's hard. And I get angry, like get upset. I don't want to listen to that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
And
yeah.
but it's hard. It's hard, but it's true. We got to do that, man. We got to look the
I
positive.
can't sit here saying that it's not hard, but I'll be a biggest hypocrite, because
Yeah.
that's my biggest. And it's still something I'm dealing with, because
Yeah.
I get angry over sometimes the simplest things, and then
Simplest
sometimes I'm
thing.
not angry. I get overwhelmed because I don't know how to deal with it at the moment.
Yeah.
So I get frustrated. Therefore, I get angry.
Yeah.
However, given the hobby that I have, having a hobby is so important. Because I have an outlet. There are moments, man, that my wife's like, Eric, come on, get in the car. I will drop you off at the academy. He'll drop me off in the academy and pick me up later. Or I have friends, other support systems that, hey, Eric, bro, I'll pick you up and whatever.
That's your daycare.
Yeah,
That's your daycare. Oh, that's it.
exactly.
That's
Yeah,
when I go to the hobby shop. Okay, let's say, hey, just drop me off at the daycare.
yeah, I'll pick you up later. Here's a little treat, and I'll see you later. But that's the one thing is that that through when the Word Project, I'm through the independence program, so they give me 65 hours a month for my errands. So that's why I'm able to go to jiu-jitsu so much, because I have a caregiver who picks me up. We'll do a schedule for the week, and he'll pick me up and take me home if I need to do anything extra. But on top of my wife helping me, I have also that extra hours help me out. But like people out there is that you find your own niche. You
Yeah.
find whatever works for you. And I'm saying jiu-jitsu is something is for everybody, or RC is for everybody.
Yeah.
But start with RC. It's you're not getting hurt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Start with that. And not only that, the people in this organization are amazing. They really care about the people that are in the organization. They take the job really seriously. That's one thing I admire you about, Javier, is that fact that you take your role in 11 Charlie serious. Like
Oh, yeah.
you carry yourself as like, this is my mission. I represent 11 Charlie, and not a lot of people out there do that. And you know what I'm talking about. A lot of people
Yes. Yes.
don't do that. They forget why they're doing this.
Exactly. Exactly. It's not easy. That's why you gotta be aware. Being part of O11C or any of those veteran organizations is not easy, because you gotta carry yourself. You gotta be careful how you carry yourself all the time while we struggle with our demons. You know what I'm saying? That's even worse. I remember one time you told me, Eric, a couple of years ago when we were starting, and say, Javier, don't post your emotions or stuff. People don't need to see that. I still remember that. You text me,
Yeah, I remember that.
you were checking on me. Just don't
Yeah.
post all that stuff, people, because we gotta be careful. Even though we struggle, but we gotta be careful what we do
And
not.
we can struggle, because at the end of the day, we're all humans. We're not made out of stone.
Yeah.
But always have that outlet, that person,
Yeah.
or that battle buddy, that, hey bro, I'm going through this. Because the one thing I have learned throughout my journey of healing is that not everybody's ready to hear what you have to say.
Yeah.
And not everybody's gonna react the way you want to react when you say those things that you're saying. So you gotta be careful, because once you open your mouth about your trauma or your emotions, you open your mouth, and the person who's receiving that information is not ready.
Yeah.
You're the one who gets screwed over, not the person.
Yeah.
Because now you're exposing yourself all these emotions, and you don't have any, you know how to handle them.
Yeah.
So and on social media, you're just posting stuff there, and I'm saying you Javier, specifically, but saying in general for all veterans out there, is that stay away from that, because
Yeah.
all these trolls begin their opinions and stuff like that, and not only that, they don't know what's going on with you deep down inside.
Yeah.
So that's why it's always I rarely go to the people that I can, hey man, I need a minute from you. Oh, can we go for lunch?
Yeah.
Or hey, can I call you later on tonight? Because we all know all have those people that we know that it will keep us in check. Because sometimes people, some friends will only tell you the things you want to hear.
Yeah.
Your friend will tell you, hey, have you cut it out?
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, because the people that really care about you is that you want to make sure you get better in the way you don't stay the same way all the time, and you need to hear sometime you got that tough love in a minute. Huh? Hey, battle. You know what I'm saying? We
It's like
need,
in the army when you had that private or that one in your squad that was
Yep.
so like you put it in check, that way they can be a better soldier. And because you were a soldier once, you still have your own battles now after the army. And
having those right leaders
uh-huh.
near those guys that come in, it was key on those guys. Either they're stayed in or they just, man, I want to do 3 years, I want to go out. This sucks. So some of our guys, some of them, they suck it up until they go to another unit. Having those mentors, those leaders around there. The same thing goes in life.
Exactly.
Eric, I never thought about this. One of the veterans here, he told me, hey, Javi, I have a mentor for everything, a mentor for whatever. I have a mentor. I never had a mentor in there. My
Uh-huh.
my mentor was the streets. My mentor was a drunk ass. I didn't have that. I didn't. And having that is so important going through life until that it will. I don't know.
No, but it's true, because that when that person is a mentor, it's in fact that you're gonna trust that person to help you, guide you, no matter how uncomfortable it can be sometimes.
Yeah.
That's one thing I have learned doing jiu-jitsu is to learn how to be comfortable while uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm able to handle my anxiety and and everything else a little bit better to compare. I mean, a lot better than what I used to.
Yeah.
I still have my days, because it's a work in progress. But the man you see here today is not the same man I was 2 years ago. It's not. And everything is better in my life. My attitude, my point of views, my marriage, and it's because I found something that I don't have to put all the burden on my family anymore, or my wife for that sake, because they're the ones who are they're 24/7,
Yeah. Yeah.
and so it's always, again, I can't say this enough. It's always good to find something that you out there that you love, that you can do, that it will take your mind away from all the stuff that all the garbage in your head
Yeah.
that shouldn't be in there.
That's all, man. I see there, Matt, welcome in, brother. I see Moose, one of our veterans there in the chat. Maurice, welcome in. Said, Maurice says, gotta go, guys. Love you all. Early day at the VA, man. Take care, Maurice, brother.
Again, Maurice.
Take care, brother. Yeah, man, it's so important. It's so important, all this stuff again. And that we want to share this with you guys, man. Uh, And to help you understand some of the stuff that we go through as veterans and friends and family, people here that are listening to, just have a little bit a better understanding. I was showing that I want to go back to the pictures, Eric, that I was showing. Maybe you could let the people know this one. That was a baby, bro. Look at this.
That was during the elections. If you look at the date,
That was, I see in the chart cover. See, yeah, okay, I see it. Like January 26, 05.
Yep, that was during the first elections of Iraq. I was 23.
Wow, a baby, bro.
Yeah, no beer and everything. But yeah, that was during the elections in Iraq.
Let me go back here. This one. It was. I know you do the golf stuff too.
Yeah, I still golf. I enjoy golfing. And if you see the ball there, it's a ball that I get.
Red. It's a red one.
That way I can see it. It kind of glows in the grass. So it's pretty cool stuff there. I enjoy golfing. That's at the Arnold's. Actually, I think it's 565 or 75 pounds.
Jeez.
I came in second in the nation that year.
Wow, that's
Actually,
awesome.
you can't see it from now here, but Javier, it says Hibaro Strong on my chest.
Bro,
I'm the-
and look at the Converse, bro.
Yep.
Customized.
Yeah, actually, they only made that one pair that year for the 2000. That's like a coquille inside of it, so you
Oh,
can't buy
that's
it anymore. I found them on eBay, so that's my comp. I still have them.
the Chucks, man. Look at the Chucks right
Was
there.
that the WPO?
Yeah. Yep.
I probably watched you list.
Yeah, that was
I was
20
there for that.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I was there it was 2018. I came in second by 10 pounds. I didn't make first place.
Wow.
Because that's the same one Andy Bolton pulled 980, right?
Yeah, actually, yeah. Yeah. I mean, he went before me.
Yeah.
That was the he was doing more strongman stuff. I was doing more deadlift stuff. I mean, powerlifting stuff. It's different way.
No, Andy Bolton, the powerlifter from England.
So I'm thinking about sorry.
You're thinking of Magnuson. Yeah.
I'm thinking the guy from Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Thor
Okay.
Magnuson, Thor, whatever it is, or
Yeah,
He
he was there, and we share the same stage. He competed before me, and
Yeah.
that year he lifted 1,000 and something.
Yeah.
That year. That's
That's
what I was thinking about.
no, I was there.
Oh, awesome! Small world.
How about this one?
That was my first time competing as a blue belt in Miami. I came in second place. It was a hell of a match. Actually, it was a hell of a match. I was really proud of myself for that match.
That's awesome.
Again, you see it, nobody's there, visually impaired. That's the same match in Miami. That match, I almost got choked out with it's called a baseball choke, and I roll out of it. I that's the one thing I'm known for. I don't give up quick. Thank God I've been put to sleep yet, but I don't tap easy.
Knock on wood, huh?
So yeah, that was in Orlando actually.
This one?
Yeah, that was Orlando. The one before we had my last one. I came in third. And you see, I have We Defy there. When the Warrior Project.
When the Warrior, yeah.
Simplify Fun on my chest, and that gi actually was bought by the Cashley Foundation, for me to compete. Cause that gi is much lighter than the ones I use when the train.
Okay.
Yeah, because when you weigh in, you have to weigh in actually you weigh in and you go fight. So you have to weigh in with yourself with the gi. Compared to powerlifting, that was a big thing for me, because in powerlifting, I would weigh myself the day before my comp, and I would just carb load that night, and it'll be fine. And jiu-jitsu is you weigh in with your gi, and then you go to the bullpen, and from the bullpen.
Wow, so you cannot hydrate, you cannot do nothing, like
have a few minutes in the bullpen to drink and whatever, but you also don't want to overdo it because you're about to go into a match.
yeah, exactly. It's not the same. Wow,
yeah,
that's tough, bro.
For me, it was a big learning curve, because doing powerlifting for 8 years, I would just, cut weight, make the weight the day before my meet, and then I'll go eat and I'll be fine. And here, and I weigh in either with my underwear or nothing. Here, and jiu-jitsu is with your gi, so you gotta make sure that you don't buy a heavy gi. So right now, I compete at 168, but I'm 160, 162, 63 today. So with the gi, excuse me, I'll be like 166, 167. There's 2 pounds on the gi.
Jeez.
And for people that don't know, standing jujitsu, starting out standing for did you do 5-minute 3 rounds?
5-minute round, yes, 5-minute rounds.
Yeah, 5-minute round, yeah.
So I'm 43. So.
It's one of the most exhausting things you'll ever do in your life.
Yeah.
I did it to get in shape for football season one year, and the guys talked me into doing a comp, like, or event, match.
Yeah.
and me and the other guy stood positioning for 4 minutes, just trying to shoot a leg, trying to sprawl, I literally ripped the guy's gi pants off of him. Like they shredded down the side, shooting for a single. I grabbed the back of his leg and he tried to sprawl and I held it and his pants shredded. When I was done with that, I'd rather play a full game of football any day than that 5-minute match. It was
Yeah.
brutal.
I agree with you, because the first time I did it, I didn't realize, I train in the academy, you can go like 70-80%, but once you
Right.
go into the actual match, first of all, you don't know this person, so you don't know how he rolls. Two, the intensity is 100, I mean 100% or more, because if you lose, that's it. Like you don't go back, and it's a one elimination. That's it. So you gotta make sure that you win that match, so you can continue competing, then we can make a podium. But my first match, I competed at 181 weight class, so I'm only 5'7". So 181 guys who are walking around normally at 181 are like 6 feet tall.
Jeez.
So if you see the first pictures of me competing, the guy's towering me, like literally towering me. I lost my first 3 matches, because I'm still learning. But I had to go down. My professor said, Eric, I think you should go down weight class. That way, but it's the same height. And thank God, I listened. And right now I had guys my same height and everything. But like you said, it is. I remember the first match that I won. Like my thighs were like shot, and I had a hard time walking, because I had it in my guard. I had the guy in my guard for almost 4 minutes. But I enjoy it. I really enjoy it. I compete often. I want to compete more after Worlds. I'm actually gonna this afternoon, my wife and I were talking, because I want to compete more, so I want to train more. So she's gonna help me out with stuff like that. So I want to make it one day to be world champion, and that's my goal.
You get there, bro. You get there.
Oh, I will. Remember this day. I will. I promise you that.
That's awesome, man.
It's just impressive to me that with your, vision, that you're not starting already locked up.
Yeah,
Like,
I
because
I have the option, but I don't take it.
it's impressive, man, to get blue belt that fast on top of,
Yeah,
what you're dealing with. It's
very impressive.
something else.
Yes,
Thank
yes.
you.
It's
Not
very
easy, to be honest with you.
it's
Not
very
easy.
motivational, Eric. That's what I'm saying. It's incredible, bro.
Thank you. I enjoy this. I really do. I think because it's hard. It's not. It doesn't come hard. It comes easy to me. It's not easy to me. So it makes me even work even harder.
And
You
you
know?
dedicated to it. You got to be dedicated, because sometimes when I talk to you, you go to the gym in the morning, in the afternoon as well, right?
Yep. And there are days like next week. Tomorrow, because I compete. I leave Wednesday. I'll do 2 or 3 classes. I'll do in the morning and then double in the afternoon. But it's I just enjoy it, and I have a great academy. I got a great professor who's extremely knowledgeable. Um, you know, and again, it's the environment that I have. There's a lot of veterans there too. A lot of veterans there. Like right now, at the top of my head, I can count like at least 14 vets.
Wow.
Yeah, and half of those are like 9/11 vets.
Look.
Or more than that. Actually, one of our instructors, is him and I served the same tour in
Wow.
Iraq. Yeah, he's about to be a black belt soon, and I helped him with all the benefits. And I enjoy seeing other veterans getting help, and that way they can continue doing what they're doing.
Yes.
I understand firsthand how important this stuff is. Like I said, any hobby that you have, is fishing or seeing, or jujitsu or whatever, cycling, whatever it is, pickleball, is if it's helping you and it's actually making you feel better, don't stop doing it.
Yeah.
And don't stop doing it. Yeah, we'll have our days. We'll have our days that don't want to do anything, but take that day, and just decompress and then go back to it.
Don't lose that motivation. That's a
no.
problem. Losing the
Yeah.
motivation, then you go back to that dark hole, to that bunker. You know what I'm saying? That's yeah.
And for me, it's more. I'm more driven than motivated. Because motivation can come and go.
Yeah.
I'm driven because I see the benefit not only in myself but the people around me. That like my wife is much happier me doing these things. And why would I stop doing it after all the stuff that I put her through? That through hospitalizations and being depressed and having my TBI issues and my anger. And finally I found something that it helps me, then I'll be an idiot if I stop.
Yeah. Definitely, brother. Let me see here. What else, guys? Any more questions for Eric? We almost there, guys, at the end of the show. Please feel free to jump in if you guys have any questions for Eric. Let me see, guys. I have some stuff checking here. Eric, how do you see yourself in the future? I'm gonna say a couple of years from now. What is your goal? You already said you want to be in the world, right? The world champions. Well, there's a beyond capable podcast. What do you see yourself in a couple of years from now?
Honestly, the way things are going on my podcast, I want to make it to the point that I can bring some heavy hitters to my podcast. I'm really happy because the house that I'm moving into, I'll have the house is almost 4,000 square feet. So it's a big house. So the rooms will be a decent room for my studio. I want to my plan with the podcast is to help more people out. The more people that I help, the more satisfied I'll be. Because at the end of the day, it's not about me. It's never been about me.
Yeah.
And I see myself I'm being even happier than I am today. Honestly, today the way things are in my life is I simple things. I enjoy the quietness, sometimes the silence
yes.
And my goal is to be a better person than I am today. Yeah, and that will me being a better person will help me with my podcast, will help me with my jiu-jitsu, will help me be a better husband. So it's continue what I'm doing today. That way I can help others, not only others, but myself. And my podcast, I love my podcast. I love what I'm doing here. Probably for 5 years from now, I'll probably be a higher belt than I am today. I want to travel and compete. I want to make it to Puerto Rico one day, compete in Puerto Rico, or compete in Europe, in Dubai one day. And Brazil. I want to travel the world competing, to be honest with you. I want to do that and inspire other people, because I've seen veterans who are in worse cases than I am, and they do jiu-jitsu so well. I know a guy who's a triple amputee, and the guy's a purple belt, and the guy's a total badass. And so seeing those things that I motivates me to do better, because if I can help at least one person do better each day, I'm doing well in life.
Exactly. You're doing the right thing right there, man. I love that. I love that, Eric. Very grateful, very proud of what you has accomplished and the stuff that's coming your way, brother. That's awesome.
Thank you.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. Let me see here, guys. Any more questions for Eric, guys? If not, we'll be starting to say our goodbye soon, guys. I see some people in the chat. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us. Again, we just wanted Eric to share his experience, all his accomplishment, and what Eric is doing right now. So we can share it with you guys. So we're gonna keep bringing from time to time some of these veterans that out there, kind of motivate our fellow brothers and sisters out there, guys. So really appreciate it, man. If not, no more questions. Josh, go ahead, brother. I'll start with you, man.
Awesome show, Eric. Great story. And it shows like your dedication and how hard you work to have that blue belt and to be in the WPO. People probably don't even know what it is, but it's the World Powerlifting Organization. People from all over the world came and competed in that event.
Yeah.
There was people from Poland, I think Iceland, England, there, and you were on that stage, and now you're on the world stage for jiu-jitsu. I mean, that's just amazing accomplishments, and I hope your podcast goes well. Everybody in here, thanks for stopping by. Hit the thumbs up on your way out.
Thank you, Josh. There, Waka saying, quick announcement. Sakura, if you guys don't know, is our therapy dog. Sakura passed all her tests for therapy certification. That's congratulations for her. Waka's and Milka. That's awesome. Awesome. That's sweet, man. Bennett, if you're here, or no, Bennett he's working. Let me see here. Joe.
Awesome. To be able to hear and see what all that you've got past in your life is amazing, truly amazing. From being a civilian, even some of the things that you said goes to civilians as well. Fathers, mothers, it's all the same stuff. So even from an outsider of myself sitting here listening to this, it's like, damn, I wish I had some of that stuff too. Because I guarantee you my life would have probably be in a different position than what it was, or how it laid out to what it is could have been. So amazing story. Love it. Keep doing what you're doing. It's good stuff. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. No, we're gonna leave Robert for last. I said it last time. Eric, go ahead. Eric with a K.
The other Eric, it's nice to meet you. Congrats on all your accomplishments, and I wish you the best moving forward. I really do. You probably inspired a lot more people than you think just by showing up on here on YouTube tonight. But
Yep.
I hope everybody had a great weekend. I hope everybody has a better week, and see y'all next one. Peace.
Thank you, my brother. Dennis.
Eric, not only are you motivated, but you're an inspiration to everybody. What you do is just amazing. To overcome all the tragic in your life, do what you're doing. Hats off, man. It's amazing. It's not easy. Even from the civilian side, I've seen a lot of people struggle, give up. You decided to keep going. Need more of that. And like I said, you're an inspiration to everybody, not only to the veterans and to us on the panel, but just general population. So, like I said, hats off. It's amazing.
Awesome, man. Thank you, Dennis. Robert.
Hey, what's going on? First, I want to start off with thanking everybody in the chat. I appreciate everybody being here, everybody listening in on some amazing stories, and like what an amazing influence. Eric, I mean, they write songs about you. They write stories and books about people like you. I mean, I'm over here whining at my wife that I don't feel like putting the dishes away, but you're like, dude, I got shot. And you laughed at it. You're like, nothing. Blown up. Okay, that's cute. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna learn some martial arts. I'm gonna start kicking people's asses, It's just that's amazing. Like you took your hits, you're getting punched, and you're just going. You're like, keep going, keep going. And you're bringing along people with you to inspire them. But like, you can get hit as many times as you want, but as long as your vision is looking forward, you can do and accomplish anything. And like they were saying before, hats off to you, man. I mean, I'm gonna go put the dishes away now because I ain't feeling right. But thank you for your service, and again, thank you for everything you do. My family, my panel guys, thank you for everything that you guys do. You're also inspirations. I mean, here we are. We're trying to push for other people to get involved, be connected, and this is the type of love that we just need to spread everywhere. And just contact, call,
Yeah.
touch shoulders, man. I love you all.
Amen to the well said, Robert. Well said, bro. That's what it's all about, man. Helping people out, people out, helping each other out, man. Go ahead, Eric. Eric with a C.
Well, first of all, thank you guys for this time today. I got all my friends here. You know, I didn't feel like any pressure sharing my story. I feel really comfortable, so I appreciate that. People out there who will hear the story, want to hear more about me. You can check out my channel on YouTube, Beyond Capable Podcast. You know, feel free to give a like and subscribe to us. Same thing on Instagram. And thank you again. To be honest, thank you. You know, I always enjoy hanging out with you guys. You know, particularly Javier. You know, being both from the island, you know, we have a lot in common, and just like you're like family to me. So thank you for having me here today, and hopefully it'll be the last time.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. It's an honor to have you here, man. You know, we love you very much, man. And hopefully the people that listen today can help them out. Some other guys maybe not commenting, but listening. Maybe they needing that push. That is somebody, hey, he can do it, I can do it. You know, that's what it's all about, man. Spread the word out there, help each other out. So thank you so much, guys, for the immense support. Everybody in the chat, we cannot thank you so much. If you guys watch Beyond Capable, he brings a lot of people, and they're not all veterans. It's you got civilians, people that can inspire others, right? From life in general. So show some support for that. For that, it's amazing stuff, guys. So again, thank you so much, guys. And then I don't remember who we have next Monday, but Nathan, I think Nathan sent it to me. Let me see. No, just follow us on social media, and we'll be posting whoever we have next Monday, guys. But again, thank you so guys for the support, and we'll see you next Monday. Peace.
Take care.
Be safe, people.